I love myself so much that I can love you so much, that you can love you so much, that you can start loving me. Short and to the point.
It sure is. It's wonderful to have guest musician David Rosenblatt with us. Let's give him another hand.
Thank you.
Thank you, David. Beautiful. I have to tell you, that song makes my dyslexia just do amazing dance. Good thing my mic wasn't on. So you'll find in your bulletin a copy of this reading. You don't need to look for it now. It's for yours to take home. But I wanted to start off by reading it because this truth from A Course of Miracles just is spot on. I am here only to be truly helpful. I am here to represent him who sent me. I do not have to worry about what to say or what to do because he who sent me will direct me. I am content to be wherever he wishes, knowing he goes there with me. I will be healed as I let him teach me to heal. I love that. Really, this is all I'm going to be talking about today. So I could just keep rereading this, but I already made a copy for you to take home. So let's dance with this. This is part of our journey together. Because in unity, our fifth principle is to be it, to do it, to own it. It's, yes, there's one presence and one power. Yes, we're in that likeness. What we think creates our experience, and prayer and meditation is more than just a good idea. But we've got to roll up our sleeves, and we've got to be what we know is true. Sure, we say there's one presence and one power, but we need to own it. And that's why today I'm going to talk about love in action. So I start off with Reverend Charles Roth, Unity minister, wrote some great books. And I think this is spot on. This is the month of the faculty of will. It's still August. It's the color silver. The chief executive, the prime minister of the kingdom of the mind, is the faculty of will. It says go, it gives the order for action. I am so grateful to have a concept of this innate power that is each of ours. The power to say yes, the power to say no, and by the way, no is a complete sentence. It is our ability to choose what is ours to do and take action. That's that fifth principle. Roll up the sleeves and do something rather than waiting for God to send down all the great blessing that is already ours and already within us. There's nothing to wait for. It's already here. It's always here. And so let's turn to the great wisdom of Mother Teresa. I know you've heard me say that I had the great honor in January of 1989 of spending a morning with Mother Teresa. And she, talk about a woman with presence. Chicken skin. Anyway, she says here, it's not how much we give, but it's how much love we put into the giving. Now, I don't know if you know Mother Teresa's story. She was a school teacher in Belgium. Just trying to get those kids to do whatever she said. And she had a spiritual awakening that had her know with absolute conviction that everyone is Jesus. That she was Jesus, that you're Jesus, that you're Jesus, that you're Jesus, that everyone was Jesus. And so she took it as her mission in life to treat each person as Jesus. And so she spoke with presidents and dictators and world leaders and classrooms and churches and the poorest of poor. Bring a servant of love. Love in action. Thank you, Mother Teresa. There's ancient wisdom linked with this idea of being a servant. And the Sanskrit word for it is seva. And seva means compassionate act of selfless service. Now, there's all kinds of way of being service. We can give service out of resentment, or out of I've got to, out of anger. All service out of guilt is a particular favorite of some. Think about it. If someone gives you something in anger, don't you feel the anger? If someone gives it to you out of guilt or out of gotta, supposed to, doesn't it feel like it's not a gift with an energy of balance? But when something's given in love, with no attachment of what the giver's going to get out of it, so it's not ego aggrandizement, it's not anything but it's yours if you want it. I'm here to help. Not, oh, let me do that for you. That's not exactly selfless service. It does get something done, but it also creates wreckage. Seva, compassionate, means it comes from our heart. And then we do our sacred service. Marion R. Brown, Unity Minister, started Unity of Bremerton in Washington, wrote this pithy little book called Putting Life Back Together. And here, she quoted as, "Nothing will help to put our lives back together, no matter what has broken them up, like forgetting ourselves and rendering service to others." I've tested this over and over and over. I can just have a mood. And you can ask Owen, sometimes I get a mood. And the best way out of my brokenness is to be of service to others. To open my heart and be caring and helpful to others. And not only does it help someone else, putting others first, it cleans up whatever the mood is, whatever the brokenness is. Now, that if you're in a lot of pain, that doesn't mean by going and building a home for someone is going to make you not experience your pain anymore. But you're going to care less about your pain. Because you're going to realize that our world is intricately connected with everyone else. Because everyone else is Jesus. So we're all one in our Jesusness. Just to use Mother Teresa's awakening, it can work for us as well. But if Jesus kind of makes us go, then use Buddha, or Christed One, or the Holy Presence of God. It all works. And it gives us an opportunity to wake up to what is more important, our brokenness or the goodness that we can lift in other people's lives. It's a question. And however we answer it will direct us to what we're going to do. Sitting and being in pity pot is a perfectly valid choice. I've done it plenty. I don't know about you. I've entertained my bore me a whole bunch. And I found it never gets me anywhere. Let's see what other wisdom we can apply. Oh, Reverend Joan Gattuso, she now lives in Kauai. She's written some wonderful books, and she has hit this right on the spot for us. When you live your life observing and feeling love for others, you have answered the call and always will fulfill your mission to be truly helpful. What she's saying here is all we need do is identify that we're one with love. That God's always with us. And when we answer the call, we can't help but be helpful to our others, to our neighbors, to our community, to someone we've never met before. We can smile. We can, oh, you've got 3 things. You can go ahead of me line in HEB. I experience this every day in this holy place, New Braunfels. The hill country is filled with other Jesuses that are so compassionate, welcoming, helpful, friendly. I have landed in paradise in Texas. I've never met so many people who are so nice. This is the area of Texas that knows this, that when we are identifying with our love, we can just be kind of nice to everybody else. It's the land of aloha, and they don't even know it. And I know what aloha is. Thank you, Joan. Howard Thurman, great writer and speaker, he says, do not ask what the world needs. Ask what makes you come alive and go and do that. What the world needs most are people fully alive. It's so true. And there's nothing that gives life more meaning and wholeness than being and doing whatever it is that makes us alive. I am in the right spot right now doing exactly what's right for me. This is why I'm on planet Earth, to speak and to teach. That's what I'm here to do. And I'm getting to do it. And guess what? I'm feeling whole and alive and home because I am being what I am here to do. And all we need do is ask, what can I do that would make me more alive? What would give my life meaning to get out of bed and feel great, whole, satisfied? Don't we want more satisfaction and joy in our life? Yes. I would think so. I asked that last week too. It's all available to us by us doing what we like, what we love. Because if we're identifying with what we like and what we love, we're in our heart space. We're coming from a compassionate place. And from that compassionate place, we do sacred service. I'd like to say that we could put a sign over the door that said, "Here enters every sacred servant." Because that's what we are. We're full of love. We're a community of sacred servants. And it doesn't mean we need to always do everything for everyone else. We just need to put others first all the time. Get the difference? We're not a doormat. We're a sacred service because we come from our wholeness. There's nothing we need from anyone else, but there's a whole lot of need around us that we can be of service to. Rabindranath Tagore, great writer, and he says here, "I slept and dreamt that life was joy. I awoke and saw that life was service. I acted, and behold, service was joy." So it's a big circle. Oh boy, more joy. When we identify what it is we want, our dream of what it is that comes alive, then we awake and we do that which is ours to do. And it might just be washing the pots. Brother Lawrence was a great monk, and he so much wanted to serve God. And they said, "Get ye to the kitchen and wash the pots." And so that's exactly what Brother Lawrence did. He went and he washed the pots like he was washing God. And people from all over would come to be in the presence of Brother Lawrence just washing the pots. That's sacred service. When we do what we do with love, it transforms everything. So we might all flock to see you mow your lawn because you do it with such love and wholeness that you're cutting the hair of God. I love it. It's all possible. And behold, joy is ours when we're doing sacred service. Martha Smock, the women of unity are treasures in my heart. Martha Smock was the head of Silent Unity for a long time. She says, all of us, no matter what our place in life, no matter what we do, whether we realize it or not, are serving God. You are serving God as you put yourself into life, as you think of others, as you do all you can to make others more aware of good that is within them. I love this pearl of wisdom. What we have within our love and compassion is the ability to lift someone up so that they're more aware of the good in them. Isn't that beautiful? What a great thing that is. This is my experience of our teachers with the babies or in our youth ministry program. They lift up so that the baby, so that these youth, so these kids, so these teens are alive and aware of the goodness within themselves. Teaching them to be sacred servants. Not by saying it, by their action. And it doesn't matter what you do, what you think, what you say, you're serving God. There's only one presence and one power. Only. That's all there is. So our hate, our love, our joy, our hope, it's all God. We're all serving God with whatever we come out. But whatever we put out comes back to us. So if we put out hate, if we think hate, what comes back? Hate. If we hold shame, what comes back to us? Shame. It's a mirror. The universe is constantly reflecting. We say whatever we want to the universe, and the universe, boom, gives it right back to us. So put out the thoughts you want, and if you always put out from your heart and from your compassion, you're going to receive something you're more apt to appreciate when it comes your direction. Thank you, Martha. And I conclude my talk with this pithy quote from Donald Curtis. Donald Curtis was a very famous actor, and he started Unity of Denver. You might recognize him from some films from when he was a young buck, and even when he was older on Perry Mason. But here he says something so valuable for us. Loving, self-forgetting service is the shortest, the safest, and the surest way to God. So if we want more God in our lives, more awareness of that divine abundance and joy, being a loving, sacred servant is the surest, it's the express lane to God. I know this is so true in my life with all that I do. And more, I can safely say I'm more aware of the awareness of God within my life because I live my life as a sacred servant. And do I always do it with a smile on my face? Because believe it or not, some days I don't have a good day. Last Monday was not a good day. I was very overwhelmed. And even with all the feelings going inside me, I did what was mine to do. And I did it with love. And people responded to me with love and with care. And when I shared what was going on with me, they go, well, I don't see that. It's like, you don't want to see what I'm seeing. Because whatever is, and that passes. But life's going to be full of, like Deb said, those thoughts that just come. Okay, thank you for sharing. When we let ourselves be guided from our heart and putting others first, extending our heart to what would make others feel good, then we're adopting the hidden agenda of the hill country. Because I've never met a more welcoming people than I have here. So we're in the right place. Because birds flock together and the same energy flocks together. So we're on a sure path of being more and more aware of God. So with that, I'd say it's a good time to go into meditation. And David's going to give us a music bed for us to settle in to this place, which really is home.
Riĉorma amritam Asatoma Satgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Riĉorma amritam gamaya.
And it's from this place, relaxed, safe, knowing that in the moment, right here, we connect with our divine nature. And it's from this place we receive the direct guidance of what is to do now. And if what feels to do now is nothing, then be here now, expressing nothing. But based on the talk today, we do our nothingness from a place of love, from open compassion. So let's center into this being here now and allow peace to be our guide as we open to whatever question, whatever answer leads us to what would make me feel alive? What could I do to be more whole? How can I embody the overwhelming love and presence of God I feel within my own being? And then relate to everyone else as Jesus, as the Anointed One. It's easy to love anyone else if you identify them as the Anointed One, as the full presence of Christ. And so let's take a moment now where we center into our being with whatever of these questions we want to ask, or just being peace, as we now go into the silence. as we begin to awaken from this moment of peace, we bring from it whatever inspiration, whatever grace, whatever safety, whatever wholeness we've become aware of. And so we might wiggle our fingers or wiggle our toes, roll our head, and breathe easy as we come back into our awareness of the room. And when we're ready, we'll say today's affirmation together. Together, God's love inspires me to right action. And so it is.
Leave your faith. Step out on the water. Release your faith. Every step is stronger.